So, folks, we have to talk about the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk, a man named Tyler Robinson, who is now in custody, right? And a lot of speculation has come out around Tyler, Mr. Robinson, about motivations, about what his relationship was with his roommates and friends. And we are now slowly starting to get a fuller picture about all of that. But Tyler Robinson is more complicated than I thought we were going to get. So, what do I mean by that? Well, in my past videos on this, based on the information we had, it seemed to me like Tyler Robinson or the shooter before it was identified as Tyler Robinson, I pegged him for an online nihilist poster shooter, similar to the Annunciation mass shooter that took place in Minneapolis, right? Someone for whom like making the memes and being like irreverent and like it's kind of like irony poisoned violence. We're seeing a rise in it, right? And I thought that this was in a similar vein, and I am no longer convinced of that. Specifically, the fuller picture that has come out, and I believe that this man was very right-wing. You know, all of the indicators seem to indicate that to me. Let's take a look, because I think there is some element of truth to like the irony, brain poisoning, the nihilistic outlook and worldview. I mean, some of this is being reported again in the New York Times. After Kirk's killing, suspect joked that his doppelganger did it. So he had a prominent Discord presence where he participated in a Discord chat with his friends. And after the shooting, an acquaintance of Tyler Robinson posed a question to him in a group chat. The FBI had just released 2 grainy surveillance images of a skinny young man in a cap and glasses walking in a stairwell at the Utah Valley University campus and had asked for the public's help in identifying the suspect. Tagging Mr. Robinson's username on Discord, a messaging platform, the acquaintance attached the image and wrote, "Where you at?" with a skull emoji, suggesting that Robinson looked like he might be the man sought. Mr. Robinson replied within a minute. His doppelganger, he wrote, was trying to get me in trouble. Tyler killed Charlie, another user wrote, apparently in jest. And this is, I mean, it's weird, right? Like these Discord messages indicate, it indicates somebody who was treating this very lightly. Yeah, he's saying that, there's a guy that looks just like him that did the crime. Was there more? After Mr. Robinson joked that the government was his lookalike, another user suggested that the group could turn Mr. Robinson in and get the $100,000 reward that the FBI was offering. "Only if I get a cut," Mr. Robinson replied. Someone posted, "Whatever you do, don't go to a McDonald's anytime soon," a reference to the arrest of Luigi Mangione, who was found at a McDonald's restaurant and charged with the killing of health insurance chief executive in Manhattan. Mr. Robinson agreed and offered a supposed joke of his own, writing, "Better also get rid of this manifesto, an exact copy rifle I have lying around." Another user suggested that the killing of Mr. Kirk would lead President Trump to send the National Guard to Utah. The suspect replied, "In a red state? Nah, clearly the shooter was from California." Right? And so you have messages like this, right? You have messages like this, and you have the etchings on the bullets of like, "Catch this fascist" with the Helldivers. "Oh, whoa, what's this? If you see this bullet, you are gay." Lamau. A lot of this is done with a lot of lightness that is odd. Also, keep in mind that on Discord, the assassin was posting with this as his avatar. This is shit posting, right? Like, this is some online shit posting, which, makes sense. Like, that's kind of what I was thinking. And I just had assumed that the shit posting came from a background in like 4chan, or more main, like more fringe outlets.
Look at the profile picture in the stairwell and the profile of the mugshot. Robinson has no chin, the man in the stairwell does. And their ears don't match in shape.
Nah, it's again, a lot of it is angles. This guy definitely did it. You know, that's my take. I can't follow like these conspiratorial like trains of thought. I understand some of them, but like I just can't go that way. Like angles and lighting make a big difference when it comes to our perceptions of people, right? Especially when it comes to grainy footage. So there's a lot of posting, a lot of irony poisoning. And then finally, you know, the Washington Post broke this story. It was me. Suspect in Charlie Kirk shooting appeared to confess in Discord chat. I'm sorry for all of this. Read a message from the suspect's account. According to two people familiar with the message and screenshots obtained by the Post. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. And the chat reacted, Charlie Kirk got shot. I just saw the video. Holy shit. Bro didn't deserve to go out like that. Bad news. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments, the message said. Posted at 7:57 local time in Utah. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything. Now, what has now happened, the charges have been read and filed, and Tyler Robinson appeared in court remotely in an anti-suicide vest. I believe that there are concerns that he might attempt to take his own life, largely due to the fact that some of the reporting indicates that prior to turning himself in, he was considering killing himself, and was talked down from that by someone who was former law enforcement turned, youth minister, and his dad, right? So that's a whole thing that has been going on, and to me that indicates that this seems to be true. And a lot of this has been provided by obviously the roommate that is in question here. Now, there have been a ton of there's been a ton of speculation about the roommate being trans, or that they were lovers, and as of right now, I am unsure whether or not the roommate is trans. Folks within Tyler's family allege that the roommate is trans. I have from looking at the roommate's TikTok, I haven't seen any indications that they might be trans, but maybe they're closeted. I have no idea. That being said, one of the things might in fact be true, and that is backed up by the text exchange between Tyler Robinson and his roommate that was released alongside the charges. And I'll read them out, right? Yes. And so again, I don't know if this is Tyler Robinson talking to his boyfriend or his girlfriend, his significant other, right? But these are directly from the court filings, and here we go. Okay? The roommate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting and provided those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you are doing, look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love. but am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long till I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. Roommate. You weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson. I am. I'm sorry. Roommate. I thought they caught the person. Robinson. No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? Yeah, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. Haven't seen anything about them finding it. How long have you been planning this? Robinson. A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept the spot, but I don't want to chance it. Robinson. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried that my old man would do what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't even know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush when I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they didn't find prints. Or they don't find prints. How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man? And then it continues. Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge, ooh woo, on Fox News, I might have a stroke. Alright, I'm gonna have to leave it. That really fucking sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think that was a $2,000 scope. Robinson, delete this exchange. Robinson, my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle. It is very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Robinson, since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Robinson, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is deputy for the sheriff. Robinson, you are all I worry about, my love. Roommate, I'm much more worried about you. Robinson, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. And that is the end of it. That seems so fabricated to me. You know, I've been seeing people say that, but like, I don't see it. Like, I don't see that. Like, I don't think this is fabricated. There's literally no evidence of that. And let me tell you something. If they can prove that those messages are in fact fabricated, this entire case gets thrown out. This entire case gets thrown out. It like just following this train of thought real quick. If evidence comes out to the contrary that these are not the messages, this man walks. Understand that when they say like, oh well, it's fake messages, these are evidence that the prosecution released today. So until I see otherwise, I'm assuming these are real. Otherwise, you have to then ask why the hell would they be releasing fake messages that they know are going to torpedo their case? So the shooter isn't the groiper? Well, see, I don't know that I can confirm that either, but I think this moves my analysis in a different direction that I never would have expected, right? And that direction is that this guy comes across as normal. This guy comes across as like a relatively normal guy. Like, I was assuming groiper, but maybe that's because I'm old. Maybe it's because I've been around the internet a long time and I'm like, yes, the how you would fall into using a lot of this language is by hanging out on 4chan when a lot of this language has percolated down into like general usage, you know? And so, like, when we're talking about him, I'm kind of now leaning towards the idea that he is neither a particularly left-leaning person or a particularly right-leaning person. I imagine he's a fairly conservative guy, given his background, given the relationship or apparent relationship with his roommate. Seems like, and when like his parents talk about him becoming more political in recent years, some of the ways that they talk about it was that he became more left on gay issues, and trans rights, i.e., he was now kind of okay with trans people having rights and gay people having rights. Now, to me, this seems like an aggressively normal thing, and the fact that it then got catalyzed into a political assassination, well, that's very interesting and is maybe one of the most disconcerting outcomes for the current conservative movement, right? Because they are very desperate to frame this as a far-left lunatic so that they can persecute their political enemies. But if it's just a normal-ish kind of guy, and they can't tie him to any of these like far-left networks that they're trying to desperately, that's a difficult outcome for them, And I'm not saying that like, oh well, this guy's definitely not a groyper, but like, because like Nick Fuentes is gay. Like Nick Fuentes goes on dates with femboys. Some of the indicators might be that like the roommate is like a femboy who might have taken like estrogen or something. But like, we don't know enough information about the roommate. We don't know enough information about the sourcing of the memes or like the intentions of the shooter or like what the shooter's like journey in through like learning about politics was. And like, yeah, it is not great for any of us, true, Vaughn, if the shooter is just kind of like a normal guy. Because if he's just a normal guy, then like literally anyone could become someone like that. I guess my analysis has changed since seeing these text messages that this is like a pretty normal guy. What is normal? I mean, like he's like from suburban America, raised by like conservative parents in a conservative part of town with conservative ideas, and he meets like someone his family wouldn't approve of, and his ideas start shifting a little bit in terms of like, hey, actually maybe gay people are okay. And then like maybe we're looking at kind of like a Dog Day Afternoon situation. I don't know. For those who don't know, it's a movie based on a true story about a man who like robs a bank in order to like pay for his partner's like gender transition.
I bet the roommate liked the Luigi Mangione killing and he got inspired.
I think that is way too much speculation. And frankly, from everything I've heard, the roommate has been cooperating with authorities, has been giving over information, and in return, like they've been getting fucked over in the media and in the press. Like people are like trying to say like the roommate made this man assassinate Charlie Kirk, that this is an indicator that like all trans people are inherently like dedicated to a death cult, and like it's all deeply unfair to that roommate. So I'm not going to speculate on whether or not the roommate's trans. I'm not going to speculate on like anything like that. I think that the most we can come to is that Robinson seems to have been some kind of, have gone through some kind of learning process about LGBTQ people and became slightly more accepting. I think that's basically as much as we can come to a conclusion of based on what we have here. Doesn't that mean the roommate themselves like the idea of... There's nothing in the information that I've come across that indicates that the roommate was like pro Luigi Mangione and that inspired the shooting in that way. It's like blaming Jodie Foster for the Reagan thing. Yeah, no, I understand that you're saying that it was Tyler's motive, but I haven't seen anything about like the roommate being pro Luigi Mangione. Like, information on the roommate is very scarce. Jumping to any conclusions there is difficult. Yeah, there's literally nothing there that like connects any of the people that Tyler Robinson knew to what he did. So yeah, I've moved away from Griper theory, and now I'm in a more uncomfortable spot that this is just a guy. And that is a bit worrying, because as just a guy, he can be kind of a cipher that the administration can project onto, for their own political ends. And I think that is going to lead to a lot of bad outcomes for folks. And I think it's slightly better than if it turned out that this guy was like a far left, person with a bunch of different connections or whatever. It is better than that, but it's not great, Yeah, Tyler could be bi, Tyler could be queer, but also Tyler could be straight. Like if Tyler's roommate is a trans woman, he's straight. So like I'm just like I don't think it's important for us to speculate about like Tyler's sexuality. It's just important to note that like his opinion on LGBTQ people as a whole changed and diverged from that of his family. This story has been wild for sure. Why are we saying gay if the partner was in the process of transitioning? Well, because we don't know if the partner was in the process of transitioning or not. We don't know enough about the partner is the thing, right? So I'm trying to just like keep it to like, what do we actually know, and what can we like come to, what conclusions can we come to based on that?
Riverboat Deck is going to town. All the viewers gather around. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.